Working through our back squat, there are two main considerations that we want to talk about before we even get under the bar. The first one is we want to make sure that the athlete has earned the right to back squat. So we've gone through our proper progressions with the body weight, goblet squats, squats to a box, just kind of earning the right to get under the bar. We also want to talk about footwear choices. So I like going shoeless. I feel it's a great way to kind of avoid being pitched too far forward, but also being able to feel the ground. Olympic lifting shoes are also a great option, or any kind of flat minimalist shoes, but I do think shoeless just kind of provides the best external feedback from our feet. So talking about setup first. As far as stance goes, we're going to be about shoulder width distance apart. So kind of getting that shoulder width stance with a slight external rotation. The wider the stance is, the more external rotation we're going to need to have in those feet. But generally, shoulder width stance is a good place to start. Getting under the bar, we're going to be hands about kind of middle fingers on the ring. There's going to be some variation of this. I'm not super picky, as long as we can pull the bar down onto our back. So really, as long as we're getting that lat engagement and pulling the bar down, it's kind of a little bit of preference, but that middle finger on the ring is a really good place to start. Before we unrack the bar, we're going to think about exhaling first to pull the ribs down into this kind of neutral spine position. Thinking about a one joint rule the whole time. So from head, T-spine to lumbar spine, nice and neutral position. When we go to unwrap, after we've exhaled to set the ribs, we're going to inhale. Think about circumferentially expanding the ribs at 360 degrees. And then we're going to stand straight up. Take a 1-2 step back, and then settle. So we're minimizing how many steps we're taking back under that load. Once we are in this position, we're going to inhale again to set the brace before we start. We're going to first reach our hips back to the wall behind us while maintaining this neutral spine. Lower down with our hips back. And then pushing ourselves away from the floor, so driving straight back up. So again, chest stays up nice and tall. We're torquing our feet, creating that kind of stability, that torque. So screwing the feet into the ground, driving the feet apart, keeping the knees out, reaching the hips back, keeping the chest up tall, and then driving the floor away. And then as we rack it, we can just take a couple big steps forward. So again, our big cues here are chest up, hips back, knees out, maintaining a tall spine. So think about pulling the string to the athlete's head, getting tall, not necessarily overreaching, and then also making sure our hips are straight back as we squat down to ideally it's parallel, but everybody's hips are a little bit different, everybody's hip mobility is a little bit different, so that's going to vary. If we need to kind of cue a little bit more, we can squat to a box as far as the depth goes. It's kind of a really good cue also for that hip back, but working through, again, that squat pattern.